On this week's Playback, we play the Dungeons & Dragons Next. That's 5th edition for those who are keeping count at home.
This is our first foray into the world of role-playing games, so you can watch along with us as we go on our first exciting adventure.
Stumble on our first adventure.
lots of stumbling. Well, you will.
Yes.
I'll be causing the stumbling.
Well, no, you'll also be stumbling because you won't know how many goblins there are.
That's probably true as well. Anyway, at any rate, you'll have a good time. My name is Jonathan Estes.
I'm Will Keeler, and this is the Roll for Kit Playback.
Okay, so we're ready to get started playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition today, the starter set. We are going to go around the table. I will be the Dungeon Master, and my fellow friends here will introduce their real names and then their character names.
I am Neil Sawney, and my character is Perrin Tossgobble, a light-footed halfling.
My name is Garrett Dickin, and I am Sawblis Galanodau, and I am a half-elf wizard.
I'm Will Keeler, and I am playing as Armis Karen, a human fighter.
I'm Danny. I'm playing Kalis of Kronos, and I am a human fighter as well.
I'm Ivan, and I am Lord Featherbottom, a hill dwarf.
When we last left off, you were all in a cave. You had been sent to a town to deliver some provisions by a man who went ahead of you. You have not seen him since. And you are now following a goblin trail, and you actually found a cave filled with goblins, and we left off on a literal cliffhanger when this large goblin whose arm you shot off with a bow and arrow
I was aiming for his knee.
it was terrible, took a human hostage, held him over the edge of the cliff, and said, "Truce or the human dies."
I'm sorry, no, I don't think that's what he said.
I'm sorry. He said, "Truce or the human dies!"
So yeah, I think we can make the truce. He's obviously dying.
Right.
So Neil and myself could easily shoot him with a bow if he tries to run.
Okay.
And plus he'll leave a bloody mess.
Right.
So he won't be hard to track.
Hopefully you use an arrow, not just the bow.
No, I throw the bow.
we're gonna
That's
beat
my
him with
skill.
the bow.
You see, I actually throw the bow. Arrows are useless to me. I actually hold the blade and I hit with the handle. So yes, we offer a truce.
Sounds good.
Okay. The goblin, he looks upon you, and he says, "Humans! You have made the right choice. There is a bugbear named Clarg. If you help me take him down, I will return the human to you safely. Give me the head of Clarg!" And then you hear soft voice, the human from the back says, "Don't do it. It's not a good idea. Don't do it." You have a Wizard of Oz scenario right now. You have to get the guy's head. Because Dorothy had to kill the witch. I don't know why I always make Wizard of Oz references. So you know that he is in an area over here that you can get through this way. And you know that there's these two paths. This is a bridge. And that's underneath it that go over here too.
So we make our way towards the bridge. We are using Monopoly pieces to mark this.
You might not be able to see, but he's a thimble.
I'm the top hat.
Yeah, we should have introduced those as well.
I'm the cowboy.
I'm the shoe.
I'm the car.
Somehow appropriate for all of you. So, alright, I'll get you a little mappy map.
Those were not fake sound effects. That was actually what he sounded like.
Nothing in post. So this cavern is half filled with two large pools of water. A narrow waterfall high in the eastern wall feeds the pool, which drains out the western end of the chamber to the stream that flows out of the cave mouth, as you can see, as you came in. So there are, in fact, 3 goblins guarding this cave. There's 3 friendly goblins like that.
Friendly goblins.
Well, they're friendly to each other.
Oh, okay. They know we're there,
Yes.
and they're armed up.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not
So-
like we can engage in a conversation with them and see.
You could try, but
I don't think that'll be a good.
They're
course of
goblins.
action.
Oh, can I roll the 1d12 for some slashing?
I would love it if you did. So you do a total. You do. Wait, you roll.
I rolled an 11.
12
Yeah.
with that great axe, and you got +3 slashing damage.
So 14.
You chopped that thing's head off.
Yeah.
It is a clean cut too. No blood spills.
Like it
it
comes
all
out.
just
Is it like
stains and
is it like a
congeals.
Japanese movie you see like just spurt out like just like
Yeah.
5 seconds after?
It becomes black and white. It's like the scene in Kill Bill.
I guess I'll kind of just move over to the side and try hitting this guy with range because I can do Ray of Frost with 60.
Go for it.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't
I'll
want to
go
walk
for
over there.
4.
Okay, so it's messed. And I believe it's slowed now as well.
Yes. I was hitting that
pretty
one.
good. Yeah,
Which
yeah, yeah.
probably-
I'm within range of the one that you tried to swing, so I'm gonna run at it with my greatsword. So I rolled a d20. Well, 2 plus the, so I'm not even getting close to hitting it.
No.
Swing and a miss.
Well, you ran past it. You
So these two goblins are still there. This one is messed up. This guy is going to attack Thimble. A rusty scimitar.
Thank
Oh.
God.
Wow! He cleaned his own head off. Did he trip on his guts?
He cuts himself.
He actually misses and swings the sword just like this and like
Wow.
that was a critical miss for everyone watching it. These
Wow.
goblins are not much of a threat to you anymore.
I want to see what's behind the waterfall.
He thinks he's living in Zelda.
You can.
All right, so I'm gonna roll a perception.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. You don't have to. You can put your hand behind it. It's a wall. This is
Okay.
a waterfall.
Because I just wanted to make sure there wasn't a cave
We should have a.
or anything back there.
Well, roll to play Zelda's Lullaby.
So, you got to see a little bit of our recap from our adventure playing with the Dungeons & Dragons starter set. That was what you're seeing in today's episode is from the first chapter of the 5-chapter campaign included in the base set. Of course, Dungeons & Dragons, there will be many more expansions and new campaigns and the like, and you can, of course, create your own.
Of course.
Of course. Well, we are not doing that. We, as I said, just have done the starter set. We've progressed a little bit more from what you saw in today's video. So we're going to talk about our thoughts about it, which I think could be interesting to some people, maybe, because this is, as I said at the top of the show, our first time really playing any kind of role-playing game. Well, in any real capacity. I did dabble once, but I didn't really count it.
That was an experiment. That didn't count.
Yeah, college was a crazy time, man. But anyway, so Dungeons and Dragons, of course, it is such a, you don't have to say huge, I mean, it is synonymous with role-playing games. It is what everyone thinks of when they think of this kind of thing.
Well, when you think of the nerdy gamer that's not video games, it's
Right.
the Dungeons and Dragons fans in the basement of their parents' house rolling dice and not understanding what females are.
Exactly, which is exactly how it went down with us. And it's it is something that I know since I was a kid. Even I was always interested in it. I had a monster manual but I didn't know how to play the game. But I always thought it sounded so fun, so amazing.
It's actually the opposite for me. Because
you were like stupid nerds.
Well, because it's like I didn't understand it. I just knew it's like they had books and there was nothing there besides that. I'm like, what are they doing?
It's your imagination, man. That's what makes it so cool. But so we got to do so. We actually will have very different perspectives on it since I was the dungeon master and you were an adventurer.
Right.
So why don't you talk about as a player what it was like? Well, you chose a character, a pre-made one from the starter set.
Right.
Picking that and how it felt, learning the ropes and that kind of thing.
Well, I think it's really interesting from my perspective actually now to then. Because then I chose a character I looked through and I chose one I thought I liked out of them. Like there were little things and I thought this was the best one. When we're recording now, the player's book has been out. I've looked through and I'm like, oh, I want this. I want to be this.
Right.
And it's just like, oh, forget my old character. Because I guess probably also because I didn't make him. So I didn't feel the investment as much.
Yeah, which I think is definitely, we did it in the interest of we need to get everybody into
plus
the game.
The book wasn't out, so.
True, right. I guess you still could have designed your
but
own
I feel
character.
like I wouldn't want to do it without the book. 'Cause once again, this is my first time into the world
Right.
of Dungeons and Dragons.
Right. Of course, you can at any time kill your, or I could kill your character for you. You can make a new one. That's the other thing about Dungeons and Dragons is it is a campaign, like most role-playing games are. And as we know from playing Descent, it can be difficult to get people together.
Well, I think there's a huge difference here, which Dungeons and Dragons does really well. Descent is a board game with a lot of figures you got to be around. Dungeons and Dragons, however, a lot of it is, like you said, imagination, so a lot of it can be done over Skype or something. In fact, there's now a lot of different programs and tools, so let's say you all can't meet up all the time because the location driving, you can still do it over a computer, which is really nice, and I like that a lot.
Which a lot of people do.
In particular with campaigns, because campaigns are a pain because you always need the exact same people, or you want the exact same people.
Yeah, there are. I mean, people do rotating groups where they went off on a mission, but I feel like that ruins some of the.
Or like someone's character is in a hospital because they're in a hospital or something. I don't know.
But no, I'm really excited actually to start using those programs. I've delved into it a little bit so we can start playing our game online. Although it might lose a little bit of that, the sense of being together.
A little bit, but at the same time, remember. Everyone has their own lives. It makes it a lot easier, especially if
it's the trade-off.
Remember, we also want to play all the board games too.
Right.
So
yeah, that's the thing is most people who play role-playing games, they have one and they play that exclusively.
Right.
So we're dabbling in everything. We're
jack of all trades.
Exactly. As the dungeon master as I was, it definitely. The one thing that's really nice about online is I found it's a little bit easier to plan out. We were doing everything with hands-drawn maps, basically. And we were being pretty loose about it. We didn't have, we did have in the video an actual grid. But even still, we weren't being too strict about that kind of thing. And that is something that I think there needs to be a balance of between, and I think that's more dependent on the group even than the game itself. You can sort of decide how far you want to take that.
Yeah, speaking of groups, that reminds me as a player, especially in the beginning, but this also came up, it hasn't come up later on when we've been playing, I don't think it'll appear on this video, but when we went to the town, is when you have the group of people,
right.
It's sort of like having a large group of chickens running around.
Only they're not as tasty.
Or like sheep, and you're actually the dog who has to herd them.
Right. Yeah, it can definitely be. I think that's definitely a learned skill that I need to get of getting people to
and getting the people to get ready with.
Yeah,
stuff.
Make sure they know what they're doing, and also like you don't want anyone to feel like they're left out. But you also don't want anyone to hog the spotlight, and you don't want everyone talking over each other. And especially because we have a full group of 5 adventurers, so it can be.
Many of them definitely are willing, including me at times, will take the charge and whatever they want. Like I know in the town, I was like, we have one person. I want a weaponsmith. I want the weapon guy. And that's the thing. The same question will be asked like 5 times.
Right.
And of course, then I'm there. I'm like, where's the smithy? Where's the smithy? Which is hard for him because then he'll go like, there's no smithy. And then of course, then later, oh wait, there is a blacksmith. And I'm just looking at him like.
That's the other thing is preparation is key. It's really important to really look over all the quests in advance. And that's one thing that makes it so difficult, I think, especially if you're planning your own scenarios. You really have to know, although that might actually be a little easier because then you made it all up so it's all in your head as opposed to from the book where you have to learn it.
I think one thing that's really important compared to other games with Dungeons & Dragons, at least how I'm feeling it with this set, is a lot of it is, I feel, which I really like, my favorite thing is it's about the atmosphere. It's not just the dice rolls. I feel like, okay, we're wandering, talking, and you're one of the best DMs for this because of the voices. It's just hilarious. If you're hearing you talking as a goblin and all the crazy voices you do. I can't wait till we meet more weird creatures along the way.
They're coming. Yeah, and I think, it's like we got this far. We didn't even mention until just now the word dice or how combat works. It's definitely for me the big appeal is that the role playing.
Yeah, and like we mentioned earlier, Descent. I feel Descent, the DM's like the dark of the Overlord goal is actually to win.
Right.
When in this, I feel a lot more. You're just telling a story.
You're a storyteller.
Yeah. I mean, sure, you're fighting and seeing what happens and trying to beat up people who maybe didn't give you a few silver in the head for lunch. But
and it goes the other way too. The players can sort of get a chance to, decide what they want to do and tell your story in your own way.
It makes you feel a lot more like like almost playing some of the, I can't think of an exact video game, but like when you're playing, you're just wandering around. Like you're not doing the main quest or anything. I can't think of one game.
Oblivion or something like that.
Maybe something like that. And you're just, you're just doing your thing. It's not, you don't have to worry about like every turn doing the most optimal thing in the world.
Well, that's like the magic words in Dungeons, in any role-playing game, really, is what do you do? And at the end of every description and everything is just, what do you do? Because you can do whatever you want.
Right.
And that's the magic of it. There's magic in the game.
Yeah.
But that's also the danger of it.
I believe it's in the, like you said, one video you decided to say the goblin was still alive. So because my first experience actually seeing someone play Dungeons & Dragons, like I said earlier, as a kid, to me, I didn't understand it. I actually saw two kids arguing about making a butter dragon, which I thought was just the weirdest thing in the world.
You were afraid and confused.
Yes.
A butter dragon is a dragon that looks really good, except he's got a busted face.
No, but later in college, though, I was coming down to my fraternity house, and I was hearing noise in the basement. I go down, and there's a bunch of my brothers there, and they were playing Dungeons & Dragons, and they were just sitting around, just drinking, having fun, talking, and it just looked a lot more fun. It's like it's just like hanging out, just yelling at each other in silly ways. And they just killed this dragon. I remember I think he turned into an elf or something. I don't know why. And one of them ran up and grabbed the guy, and it's in this voice, "Tell us what you know." And that just stuck me. I'm like, man, I want to do that.
It was Batman.
Yes, it was. So when you actually said the goblin was alive, I jumped on that to get the chance to do that, which wasn't in my character's actual description at all. I find I don't act like my character. Also, my character he says you should be honest with yourself, but he also says he likes using big words to pretend to be smarter than he actually is. So I'm a little confused how I'm supposed to go along with that.
You have to be very creative.
So I'm going to say, let's go up the stairs, which is southeast, and let's see what's going on.
My friends,
Oh, Lord.
you have reached Clarg's cave. Sacks and crates of looted provisions are piled up in the south end of this large cave.
I like this.
You can see Clarg the bugbear. He also has a wolf that is his pet, and there are 2 goblins as well.
So I'm saying, let's kill or attempt to kill the wolf.
Well, do you still have a cone of fire available?
I do.
Torch him.
Send him.
Now, before you roll, is he a bear made out of bugs?
Want to see a picture of a bugbear?
Kind of.
Is he like a platypus bear?
Basically,
Is it man, bear, pig?
it's that.
Oh.
That's not what I was
That
expecting.
is not what I thought at all.
No, well, you still might hit.
6. Or is it 9 or
That's a
6?
9.
9?
And you're attacking the goblin?
It's an 8. Oh, no, that is.
No.
Not an 8, dude.
It looks
That's a 9. I can see the line kind of on the
The
bottom.
first
yeah.
step of D&D, you know your numbers. Very important. Yeah, you're hitting it. So roll for damage.
So,
Man, you're a goblin killing machine. It actually goes clear through the side of his head, and both of his eyeballs burst out. They're now roasting in the fire. The bugbear, he's not happy. He was like, Clarg not like this.
Is that his name?
His name is Clarg, yeah.
Okay.
And he not like this. Clarg is very dumb. Here's what Clarg does. He's not happy you attacked his wolf.
Right.
Wait, him or me?
He's not happy with either of you, to be honest. But he's also not happy with you. Because you really, you messed up one of his goblins.
That was his best friend.
Clarg's gonna go after one of you guys. How about Top Hat?
Assuming you didn't die, can he cone of fire and hit the goblin and Blarg?
Clark.
Oh! You are extremely lucky. He just rolled a 2.
No, I'm gonna screw up the Blarg.
Clark.
Whatever.
Oh, he's using that, right?
Yeah.
20?
Wow, yeah, you're gonna hit him.
So
It's gonna hurt a lot, isn't it?
Because you roll an extra die of damage now. So you're doing a total of 15 damage.
Yes.
He's not happy.
Really?
But he's still moving.
He's not dead yet? That's a lot.
So should I take out the goblin?
I think the wolf. It's already hurt. Finish
Alright,
it off.
can you-
That way,
can you move
that
the
frees
piece
up
around?
Ivan
Dimble?
because
Yeah,
he's
Dimble.
the person who has next initiative.
I'm going to attack.
Yeah, you killed that wolf.
Okay.
How?
Thank you.
Can you
Well-
go into detail about this?
Its back was already got sliced off by an arrow. He's very good with an arrow. You just sort of dug deeper in there.
Oh.
You scooped out from the spine and everything else, and just sort of collapsed like one of those toys where you pull the string and it stands up. It's like you let go. All its bones just fell into a messy pile.
Good job, my short friend.
Great. You're not getting inspiration.
I know, but I'm gonna keep going for it.
Okay.
I'll get it eventually. Just you wait.
The goblin is going to make a ranged attack at our friend Kalis over there. Oh, he's gonna hit you.
What'd you roll?
What's your armor class, just for
17.
humor's sake? Oh, it is. Well, he's still gonna hit you.
I have a +2 proficiency in the armor I'm wearing.
He's still hitting you. So
Damn it.
Okay.
Well, move to Glarg.
Well, yeah.
Arg.
Inspiration point. What does it do?
Glarg. Name is Glarg.
I'm using my massive warhammer.
So
5.
You total of 5 damage, my friend. You have demolished Clarg, the bugbear.
Right in the head.
Beautiful.
Not quite.
Oh.
You're gonna have to cut that off afterwards.
Oh, right.
Clarg's gone. He goes down and he cries as he dies. Clarg, sad.
That's very dark.
Falls in upon the floor and he lies next to the shambles of his beloved pet wolf and cries
Aw.
as he falls into deep, blissful death.
Wow. So
As opposed to shallow.
So anyway, my turn now, right? All right. So we all agree on the plan with Mr. Big Goblin over here.
Yes.
What was the plan?
Okay.
They're gonna go around here with the goblin head, with not goblin, the
Bugbear head.
bugbear head. But we're gonna sneak around here because we're ranged.
All right.
Okay, so he's standing there and he's like, "Well, humans, bring me what I ask."
Who was holding the head?
Here it is.
Okay, he says, "Now, I would also like 50 silver pieces,
No,
and then I'll give you the human."
Yes. So
No, we kill him. We kill him.
Yeah, he's so
Not
dead.
dead.
He's so dead.
Is he just like a popsicle against the
He's
wall?
super dead. Yeah, I mean, he already was missing an arm, so yeah. You see the man. He is a male, about 50 years old, looks like. Hello, travelers. Thank you for saving me.
50, not 90.
I'm very bad health. My name is Sildar Hallwinter.
How badly are you hurt?
Oh, I am very badly hurt. I don't feel good, but I can walk. And if you would take me back to a town, I would pay you for your troubles.
Look,
All right,
we'll
so-
do that.
It seems that someone referred to as the Black Spider sent the orders down to Clarg to attack us. And I have no idea what the Black Spider is, or who he is, or why.
Or
he
she?
is.
You don't know.
This is probably a man. We live in a fantasy land. I'm just gonna guess.
Well, actually, I think Black Spider was more like a Black Widow. So
It would have said Black
Don't
Widow.
argue with me, child. You're getting on my bad side very quickly.
I'm bleeding. Let me finish.
Please just take me to a hospital. I don't have time to argue about spiders with you.
I kick him in the ribs.
Those opportunities, and that's another fun thing is there's like I would say I go 80% from just what the book tells me, but then there's always, even if you plan everything out in advance, you got to improvise at some point because someone's going to do something you didn't account for.
Oh no! When we'll go back and leave the door instead of going through the front door.
Right. Very problematic. Although you guys have been pretty. When we played, you guys were pretty good following the cues.
Well, no. One time you said, I know you told us this. Like in the dungeon, or not the dungeon, the little cave area. You said that most people would go to the right to fight the wolves to climb up, but we passed and walked right by it.
And the ones I'd like listened to a couple of campaigns just to get a feel for it, and everyone went that way. So I was like, oh, they're gonna go that way, so I know what to do. And you guys were like, oh, we're going that way. It's like, hold on, I don't know what to do. And definitely, there is, there's a lot of spells and stuff like that. I know for our wizard, it's a bit trickier than everyone else to have to learn what to do.
I will not lie. I chose my character specifically, making sure I did not choose one that was complicated with wizarding spells and stuff. Like I remember seeing that, I'm just like, nope.
Yeah. So there's definitely the potential to get bogged down in some of that, but I think overall the set does a pretty great job introducing you to it.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
And we cannot speak to earlier versions, but it seems very, supposedly from what I heard, very streamlined. I know the things that I know are new, like advantage rolls, where you get to roll 2 dice and take the higher result. It's a very simple form of giving you a benefit. And the role-playing encounters are fun.
Oh yeah, no, I remember. I think it's also in this video too. The bridge, where I had to.
I think it was before we filmed this video.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
We played a lot
when
since
you climbed
this,
the bridge.
so I'm not sure when and where.
Yeah.
But there's this point when we throw a rope and we just climb the bridge. And so everyone kept falling, but Neil, our friend Neil in particular, kept falling. And I was always on the ground. I'm like, I rolled save him, and I got him each time. And then I got one point. Jonathan was so sick, I got a 20. So he's just like, you threw him right up there, and you were even like, you got up yourself because no more climbing.
Yeah, there is. I mean, that was a hilarious moment. You definitely have to be careful. I think that's another thing that I got to work on is just in general. Making sure everyone's not just rolling for every little thing.
Well,
you got to keep a balance, a flow.
Well, remember, that happens more with insight, not insight.
Perception.
Perception. Thank you. But in that situation, it just happened to be like I would catch someone and they'd fall. I would always be the catcher.
Yeah.
I would succeed on catching,
hilarious.
but it always was me. And like I remember you were like, "You're getting a little tired." I'm like, "I know."
Yeah, like at some point, like you can't keep doing that.
But I got the 20, and then you're just like, "Yeah, you just threw him up there."
I think something else that you guys haven't keyed into as much yet is all your different abilities and the stats and all your items and things that you can use in different ways and scenarios. So for example, like in that case, you guys might have had some other equipment that would have helped. Or like I know some of you have animal handling skills, but like you didn't do anything with those wolves when we met them. I think there's definitely a learning curve there too for the players to
because I think one of the big
get
things
in the
is
habit.
One, we didn't build these characters.
Right.
So we didn't type in everything.
Right, so
Or
you didn't have it
write
all in your head.
Two, once again, we're coming into this with limited knowledge of what we have in Dungeons and Dragons. And most of that is you're walking around accepting quests and fighting. You don't think of other options.
Yeah.
And I think that's definitely something I work on because, like you said, the digital versions, I typed up my entire sheet and I'm reading through. I'm like, oh, I'm good at driving carts apparently and stuff.
Yeah, I was just looking through the characters because you each also have personal quests.
Yeah.
That tie into the adventure overall.
Actually, it was funny because the last time we played, my personal quest sort of came up, which my character would have been, oh, we're going to do straight that, but me, as especially playing from video games and doing all that, it's like,
right.
Before we do that, guys, before we go ride the dragon, we really should do all these side quests first.
And that was even as DM, just from, because in every video game, the same thing, I get every quest and then I go start doing it. So I was like, don't leave yet, guys. You should just finish rounding up all these things, but there's like 100 of them.
Well, and that's another thing that's fun with the groups, because we have one person who's always like, let's go fight the dragon. Let's go fight. I got 2 javelins. I'm going to throw them at everything.
Yeah, I'm always a little scared that one person's just going to be like, I start attacking the villager. I'm just like, please don't.
Well, and then of course our wizard's thinking about burning down the town.
Or everything he comes across.
He actually wants to take your role as a DM. He's going to attack you.
Yes, he's going to overthrow everything. But overall, I mean, like I said, it's definitely made me want to try other role-playing games in a big way. It's been tons of fun.
Which, of course, I think the big one is Pathfinder.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, there's ones for our own shows. Like, for things you like, there's a Firefly one.
Right.
I know
Star Wars.
there's a Doctor Who one they actually have for every Doctor, which is really surprising because I think the 7th one only has a movie.
Okay.
So like I'm impressed that they've put that much work into it, and
Yeah.
of course, which is funny because I actually flipped through one, and I remember just seeing one page is only one person can be the doctor. So I just imagine everyone fighting over being the doctor.
Oh, isn't that a comic I thought I saw, or did I make that up? I think someone made a comic about that. Everyone was fighting over being the doctor. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it just makes sense. But yeah, that's a dilemma.
But like so, and there's plenty of more out there. I mean, we hear some are good, some are bad. You know, they all have their all their things. But it's definitely this just seems a lot of fun, mostly just because it's about being in the world. It's not about who's the winner, which is what my favorite thing about this. I'm here to play. I can have, you know, a drink and not feel worried about like.
Right.
Well, actually, I actually want to be sort of a complete idiot because it's hilarious.
And it's something that I put off for a long time, partially because I just didn't have the group.
Oh, absolutely, that is a big thing.
So, and I'm a little surprised that it even took us so long to start doing it. We didn't do it except for this website.
Well, I think one of the big things is they did announce this, I know, a while back. And I think for us, we're just like, we'll wait till then.
Oh, the new edition, right? That's true. Yeah, it's a great time to jump in. Definitely.
So this is definitely something we highly suggest. Yeah, especially now. I mean, college is just starting up for a lot of people. This is a great time to get the starter set and bring it in, and you know, corrupt your fellow students and to become fellow nerds like us.
Let me tell you a story about my childhood.
Oh no.
Real quick, and then we'll go. So as I alluded, when I was a kid, like I said, I always thought Dungeons & Dragons was cool. I had two friends in elementary school, like 4th, 5th grade.
And you were same grade or?
Yeah, same grade. They're like my best friends. I don't talk to them anymore.
Great friends.
Hey guys, what's up? If you're watching, but we would play Dungeons and Dragons. We didn't have a book. We didn't have dice. We didn't have pencils and paper. We didn't have anything. It was literally my friend would just make stuff up, and we would just be like, I'm gonna do this or that or whatever, and we, just like on the playground or whatever when we were bored or on the bus, it's that spirit. So getting to do that again, I think it's just really cool how over like the millennia of time, the evolution of humanity, essentially you're telling stories, and it still can give you that same sense of excitement and imagination and adventure, and that's my
so when you see your kids at the playground and pretending to be something, you should either be super excited or terrified because they're already starting their Dungeons and Dragons level world.
Not until you're 18, kids.
But no, I mean, even though I didn't do Dungeons and Dragons, we did something similar with that. Actually, we had a game called Zookeeper when two people would be like zookeepers, they'd make up equipment, and other three would be animals.
Well, like everybody
so you'd
did
make
it,
up
right?
things, so it'd be like almost a reserve.
Not even like, even when you're a kid, you pretend to be whatever when you're playing just on the playground.
And that's pretty much what this is. And
That's
what's
what it
great
is.
is D&D 5, the whole thing, they redid it so you can do that even more. We've said before, the gender and sex, they've made that so it's a lot more fluid. You can do backstory rewarding you for being more about just being silly in your character, whether you're a grumpy old dwarf or like maybe even like a racist elf. I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, it's playtime for adults or kids.
And like we said, out of all the games we have, it works online, which is unbelievably helpful for a campaign thing, and with everyone running around with their busy schedule.
And if you can't get together with friends, it's a great opportunity. So we definitely we had a lot of fun. We're still just getting into it, but you should definitely check it out if you want to let us know your thoughts. Maybe you've played the older editions, have something to say about it, or there's another RPG you want to recommend. You can leave a comment on our YouTube below, or send us an email, recommend a future Playback episode or anything else that you'd like. Our email address is rollforcrit@gmail.com.
And of course, there's our Twitter, @rollforcrit, and our Instagram and Vine, which are also rollforcrit.
Absolutely. Of course, Facebook too.
As well, you can comment there. We'll always be checking. And of course, you're going to need to buy this. And what better place to buy this is on our own site.
Definitely, which is rollforcrit.com. The player's guide and there's the Queen of the Dragon Horde Adventure
well,
set. Horde of the Dragon Queen.
Yes.
Excuse me.
get
Very
it.
different things.
And soon the Monster Manual, and coming this December now, which got delayed as we said in a recently in a podcast.
Yeah, might be out now.
The Dungeon
Master's Guide. Yeah, check it all out. We definitely recommend it. Great way to jump in if you haven't played an RPG. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's Dungeons and Dragons. Why not? That'll do it for this episode of Playback. Hope you had fun. I did. My name is Jonathan Estes.
I'm Mo Keeler, and this has been another Playback.